This is the Panasonic CX850, and it's one of the more anticipated TVs of 2015 for video enthusiasts because it's a direct descendant of the fantabulous AX900 we tested earlier this year. That TV showed that Panasonic could make an LED TV that looked like a plasma. Unfortunately, it cost as much as an OLED. This particular TV costs a whole lot less, about $2,100 right now for a 55-inch that you see here, or $2,800 for a 65-inch. But it still features a lot of the same tech. The question is, what do you give up, and does this model still bring all that wow factor we saw before? Before we get to picture quality, we have to talk about Panasonic's new operating system, Firefox OS. This was a smart move by Panasonic because their homegrown OS was one of the worst parts of their TVs from the past. Firefox OS is a refreshing change, and although it isn't quite as flashy as LG's WebOS or Samsung's Tizen, its icon-based interface is infinitely easier and more fun to use than the Viera platform Panasonic used to use. It's not as quick, but it's a little bit more simplified, and that actually makes it easier for me. It does come with a Firefox browser, but I warn you, you're not going to want to use it. It's just as much a pain in the butt as any TV browser I've ever used before. But of course, if you buy this TV, you do it for the picture quality. So, in a nutshell, the TV looks great. It's definitely a premium offering, but isn't quite the slayer the AX900 was. First, the good stuff. It's a great 4K UHD TV with excellent processing, solid color out of the box, and some outstanding picture presets. We pretty much stuck to THX Cinema and THX Bright Room modes depending on whether we had the shades up. The TV is HDR ready, and it sports an expanded color gamut, meaning it's ready for the best that the new 4K UHD Blu-ray discs will have available when they come out later this year. That's an element of future-proofing I'm really happy to see. On the downside, the first thing I noticed when I began evaluating this TV is that its off-angle viewing is compromised. It's pretty obvious Panasonic ditched the IPS panel that gave the AX900 its wide viewability for a VA panel that has better contrast, but washes out if you stand to the side, above, or sit below the TV at any kind of angle. For most people, that means that the people on the far end of a sectional won't get the best image, nor will you if you mount it above a fireplace without angling it straight down at your face. Also, the TV has just 12 zones of local dimming for its full array backlights, and that's not necessarily going to be a problem for most people, but it does show itself in dark scenes when the lights are out. Depending on how heavy-handed you allow the local dimming to be, you'll either get hot spots or halos around bright objects on a black background, or you'll give up some black level, though I should point out that you still get a lot of detail in the brighter highlights, which is especially nice if you're watching this TV during the day in a room that gets ambient light. Judder is not much more of an issue here than it is with any other LED TV, but one thing I want to note is that if you put just a smidge of motion smoothing in, you can ditch some judder without getting much soap opera effect, and that's a nice change of pace. Overall, I think this TV is best for someone who wants excellent picture quality they can enjoy in an everyday setting. It's not the dedicated home theater's best friend the way the AX900 was, but you still get most of Panasonic's magic at a much more wallet-friendly price.